Welcome to another episode of the Peak Potential Success Show. My name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. Every single day, I have the opportunity to help others unlock the potentials and guide them to succeed. Today, I have an amazing guest. This is somebody I've met a few years ago, and once we met at this mastermind, we just knocked it off. It was a lot of fun building this relationship with her, challenging with her, and it's just been a fun time working together. And this person helps businesses online build their businesses, make them grow, add structure, drives them, and also help them just increase their revenues. She harmonizes chaos. So please welcome Ms. QUEENIE WEI.
Thank you, Fong.
Hey, welcome.
Appreciate it. Happy to be here. Excited to be here.
Awesome. Now, for people who don't really know who you are and what you do, tell us a little bit about what you do and the process in which you took to get to where you are.
Absolutely. So I am a managing partner. I run a marketing agency with my husband. Yes, my husband. You can ask me about that separately. It's a whole nother story. I'm also executive accountability coach. I run my own podcast. And I honestly have a heart in helping businesses do good in the world and make money. Because
Awesome.
You need a little bit of both.
Exactly.
In terms of my journey and how I got here, man, a lot of mistakes. I think failing fast is probably one of my best traits and qualities because I don't like to stay stagnant. I feel like stagnation is the death of your business. So you need to always be doing something and moving forward. And man, 2 years ago, when did we meet? No, we met like 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I started my first business then. It was for artists and social change. It was all about doing good in the world, and I charged basically next to nothing. Nothing wrong with that, just from a business perspective. It's not the best thing to survive from. But fast forward now, over the last year, we have actually grown 136% in net new revenue. With our agency, we have 28% growth month over month during COVID, and we've expanded. So now we're a team of 7. It's been quite a journey in the last year to get us here.
Great. Well, congratulations on all the successes. And as we all know, the more and more failures you overcome, the better you are, the more you grow, and the better you are as a coach for other people because you've experienced it all, right?
100%. What's that voice in the back of our mind? Change your mind, change your results.
All the time. Now, lots of people have asked me, how do I start doing videos? How do I break through that comfort zone and start taking risks and being online and doing videos? Now, I have to say, I had a story where I said, people stood up and challenged me to all do these videos and put me on live right away. Well, that person is, one of those people is QUEENIE here. She went up to me and go, hey, we're live right now, speak. And then I spoke. So I have to thank you a lot because it's because of you that got me over that hump to start speaking online and start speaking on video. So thank you very much for that.
My absolute pleasure. It was great. It was a challenge, right? It was a challenge in mastermind. I can't remember who threw it out, but Fong, I think they're the only one that kept the consistency going. I want to just acknowledge you for that because we all know consistency trumps perfection every single day. And yeah, people, we still get that a lot. People are just afraid to go on video. They don't want to show their face. They don't like the way they sound, or, they want to be perfect all the time. Mm-hmm. The easiest way really is just to start filming. Even if you don't end up publishing that, it's fine. Just start filming. And if you're a bit more daring, just go live and don't expect it to be perfect. Your first video is not going to be perfect. So the sooner you can accept that, the sooner you can get going and out the door. Yeah. And I remember that we were in Carlsbad with Fong and he didn't really want to be on video. So I actually took 2 attempts because one time I had to walk up further in front of him.
The first time I just ran off.
Yeah, he just ran off. I'm like, well, okay, let's do this again.
Well, during that process, I was thinking, okay, I need to do videos. And I was still processing, okay, I'm going to say this, I'm going to break this out, I'm going to do all. I had everything planned in my head before I started doing it. And then you just came up to me, okay, we're live now, just speak. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Didn't work out.
Oh, it worked out. Because then what that actually did for me was at the airport flying back home, I was recording my very first video. And I did take after take after take after take. And then all of a sudden I realized, you know what? Queenie already posted a live one and I didn't prepare squat for that. This is good enough, post. So it actually made my mindset a little bit different and allowing myself, you know what? Things aren't going to be perfect. It's better to have it out there than not and grow from it. So like I said, 100%. Thank you very much for that live.
You're most welcome. Honestly, I have so much fun and I love pushing people past that breaking point. I know it sounds bad, but it's not, because sometimes we need a little push, but really we're just stuck in our heads, you know, like the fear, and then you want it to be perfect, whatever it is. Or I've worked with people that they're like, I don't know what to say in the video, right? They want to provide value, but then you hear them talk for the next 10, 15 minutes. And honestly, you think you just had like 2 hours of video content right there. And you're telling me you don't know what to say. No, you're just afraid. So I take pride in pushing people forward. And then they'll just catch them eventually. But I want to make them feel like that fall, right? That jolt, that fear of like, oh shit. So that's what I do.
You're an absolute expert when it comes to social media, posting things online, doing videos, and all that great stuff when it comes to the business side of social media. Now, there's a lot of people out there who would like to get into social media, but they have this fear about posting stuff. They have this fear about what others will say. They have a fear of putting too much content out there. What do you say to people who really want to jump over that hump and start doing it, but they're lagging behind because of a certain mindset?
Honestly, it's not so much what they do at that point, it's a mindset play, right? So the first thing is really to look at, why are you being stalked? Like, what is it? Is it really fear? Because sometimes it's not, right? Is it fear? Is it judgment of other people's opinions? And the best part is, I think, again, it just goes back to, you don't need to be perfect. You don't have to get it perfect. Perfection doesn't actually exist. Do you know who the greatest marketers are? The greatest marketers are people who have failed 1,000, 100,000 times before you've even started. Because everything is a test. Our businesses are different. For example, if I were to post something about social selling, it's very different than if you were to post it, even if it's exact same image, exact same copy that's written down, because your audience responds to you differently than mine does.
Right.
So when you're worrying about all this extra stuff, really it's just in your mind. So the best thing I can tell them is create 3 different posts, whatever it is, right? Create one of value, create one where you're talking about your own journey, who you are. And then the third one, ask them a question. A lot of times when we're just posting, we are what's called broadcasting. So we're shoving information down people's throat. We're like, buy this, do this. People don't want that. They want to actually feel like a community, and they want to be able to connect with you. So if you're posting something of value, they can learn from you, and they'll know in the back of their minds that you're an authority figure. You know, you have this expertise. For you, it's real estate or book or coaching, whatever that is. They know to start coming to you for that. When you share more of your journey, so for me, for example, I struggle with mental health, but it doesn't stop me from running a 6-figure business. Right. But it's also both, right? It's a very real thing I have to deal with on a day-to-day. So if I'm sharing my journey, it creates a space for them to connect, to let people know I'm human. I'm another person. I'm not a robot writing a message.
Right.
And then when I'm asking them a question, really, it's about them. Like, what do you guys want to know? What do you want to do? Right? How can I help you? But if I don't ask that question, I'll never know. Right. So those would be like the 3 channels I would start and pick one.
So you're very good at helping other people achieve, like, overcome their challenges. How do you face your challenges? How do you overcome the challenges that are happening in your life?
Man, that's like a can of worms, Fong. For me, I love a good challenge. So from a business side, any challenge that comes, I'm like, yeah, like I'm ready to go. It amps me up. I'm just like, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to compete. So I find it fun. My challenge right now, let's talk about something real. So my challenge right now in our business is growing our team. So we've got a team of 7, and managing a team and running a business are like two separate things. I sometimes much rather just run a business because it's logical, right? There's no, like, you either do something or you don't. Managing a team is so much about emotions, managing like personalities, leadership. So I'm challenged in leadership, and one of the things I do is I'm constantly reading. I am putting myself in check. Like, I made a LinkedIn post about a month or two ago where I just flat out shared, I'm like, I failed today as a leader because it was something to do with where they didn't get something done, or it wasn't done the way we wanted it. But instead of me allowing them the space to make a mistake, I just jumped in on it right away. And you can't do that because people make mistakes, especially when it's not you and it could hurt your company's image. Emotionally, it's hard because you have to be like, I don't want to be mean, but this needs to get done.
Right.
So it's finding that, and in a way that people respond to you because they're trying. Like, your team, if you hire the right people, they're trying. They're trying to do their best, and sometimes there's just a learning curve. Like, one of my team members said to me, this is taking me longer because to you guys it's second nature, but it's new for me. So it's a learning curve. And so I have to respect that.
No, that's true. Very good. Thank you. Now, when it comes to the current challenge of people being locked down and people having to work from home, how important is social media at this time? And also, how do you adjust your business from a social media standpoint to make sure that you come out ahead when everything is lifted?
Yeah, I love this question. So we actually had clients double down on their content. And biggest thing you pulled out there is everyone's at home. It's a pandemic. We need to stay home. So all of our attention and focus is boom, right there on social media. So the best thing that people can do to get out ahead is to connect with their audience. It's not to sell your audience and make them buy something from you, because that'll come. You actually want to create a relationship. Business, at the end of the day, it's revolved around relationships. And how you do that on social media is through commenting, engaging, actually getting curious what people are up to. What are they talking about? Can you add value to that, even if it's outside your realm of expertise, right? Basically from a person of who you are. So for example, I can add a lot of value to someone who's struggling with anxiety or depression and addiction, because I've been through that myself, right? And it's not business related, but I can add value to them and let them know it's okay, whatever you're going through or whatever. But if you're in a business, for example, of real estate, it'd be really nice to have some of your previous customers talking, right? What we call user-generated content. So UGC, which is them posting something about you and then you resharing it and then tagging other people, talking to other people, like really creating a conversation. And the reason for that is because brand loyalty is hard to build. It's trust at the end of the day, and you can't buy that. Yep. You can buy followers. A lot of people buy followers, and that's great. But your followers actually mean absolutely nothing when you don't know how to convert them. So instead, spend your time building a tribe and a community, because those are who you can fall back on. And the best part, they become your fans at the end of the day. So they're actually then helping you sell on your behalf.
Right. Yeah, that brand advocacy is so important when it comes to having a successful business. And as you're on your journey, you're also coaching a lot of people as well. And just wanted to ask you, how important is the concept of coaching? And what was the best coaching advice that you've ever gotten from your coach?
Oh, I gotta think about that one. First, I think coaches need coaches. I honestly do. We got to a point where we became the smartest people in the room, and that was a major detriment to our business. Like, I couldn't get out fast enough. I was like, I need people. I'm like, I need new people. I can't be the smartest person in the room. I rather look stupid and feel like, oh my God, these people are so amazing. What am I doing here? I like that feeling more, because I know if I'm in a room of that setting, I'm going to grow and I'm going to learn. Coaching, the best thing I've heard. This is recent and it's top of mind for me, but two things. Actually three things, I'm sorry. One is from Gary Vee. My biggest takeaway is just to do something. Like if you're confused, if you're lost, you don't know what's going on, do one thing. It doesn't even have to be business related. Just do one thing, because then it'll just propel you into action. The second is from Tony Robbins, and it's to trust your heart, like your gut instinct. A lot of people are going to be telling you what to do and not to do, but trust in yourself regardless. And then 3 is never listen to anyone who has lost less money than you, which is an interesting concept, but I love it because it speaks to losing money is not necessarily negative, because you need to lose money to learn. Right. So if you're losing money, but you've got the success, this is different, right? Like if you keep losing money, that's not what I'm talking about, but I'm talking about people who've been, they are where you want to go. Trust me, they've lost probably the same amount of money you're making right now.
Yep, that's very true. It also drives them to become more successful because they lost that money.
Exactly. Honestly, it's about failing faster.
Exactly. Now, when it comes to drive, what drives you? What makes you wake up in the morning and go, you know what, I'm ready to crush this day?
Oh, my morning routine. So we've got this thing where it's a morning formula. There's a book about it as well. And basically it's before you get into work, it's like a vision board in some sense. You're visualizing where you actually wrote a story. I've written a story about myself and what I wanted to achieve. So I've got, our marketing agency at 850 million a year, my investment firm and all this, like things I want to do. But the biggest part, what motivates me, is knowing that we can be anywhere in the world when we get to the place where I want to go. So what I'm talking about is, in my story, I write, we're in one location for a few months until Aislin's done school. We're going to homeschool. And then we can travel the world, offering our gifts to everyone, taking in all the world has to offer, and just living those experiences. So every morning while I'm reading that, that's honestly what motivates and drives me. Because we need to get to a certain point in the business before our team is capable of handling everything and we can actually just step back and step out.
Oh, very, very, very powerful. Very good. Now, if you have the world as your stage, you have the next couple of sentences or so to tell them what your message to everybody else is. What is that message going to be?
Oh, that message. Change the world with your business.
Very good.
It's definitely one of them. Don't be afraid to share who you are, even if you're kooky, weird, or have experienced trauma in your life. It's possible to run a 6-7 figure business and still battle mental health every single day. Love yourself.
Because kooky and weird is also unique and special.
Exactly. Exactly. Although I am like really super weird for anyone who knows me, right? Like mastermind sessions, juice. Anybody? No? Okay.
Yep, that's always fun to think back about those days. So if anybody wants to reach out to you with regards to your expertise and to chat with you, what's the best way to reach out?
Best way is probably through Instagram or Facebook. So my handle is chaos.harmonizer on those. I'm also on TikTok, LinkedIn, email, queenie@thechirp.ca. And yeah.
Okay.
I'm usually there several times a day, just creeping, learning.
That's all good. Now, before I let you go, I have a quick few questions. Give me the first words, first answers that come to mind. All right?
Okay.
So I know you're a little bit of a foodie, just a little bit, right?
just a little bit.
Just a little bit. If you were stranded on the desert island and you only had one item or one meal to have for the rest of your life and there's no consequences, what would that be?
Oh my God. That is so hard. Probably duck l'orange with some mashed potatoes on the side and foie gras as an extra.
Good.
Is there like wine involved?
The last time I asked this question, the person said watermelon. But you have a whole entree, so.
I have a whole entree.
just a little bit of a foodie. That's all. That's all. So next question is, if you had somebody to play you in a movie for your autobiography, who would that be?
Emma Stone.
Awesome. So now you have Emma Stone at your place, and you're going to serve her the best meal of her life. What would you serve her that you prepared?
Ooh, best meal that I prepared. Some Szechuan noodles.
Great.
I gotta shout out my hometown, but not like the stuff you can get here. The real pig fat noodles that you can eat.
Sounds good. You're in the circus. Which role would you play?
Ooh, the Lion Master, the Tamer.
Awesome. Very good. And finally, what is success like? But before you answer that question, I have 5 random items. Pick a number between 1 to 5.
3.
1, 2, 3. So how is success like a garden hose?
Oh, that's funny. Okay, how is success like a garden hose? Well, you know how some people have this amazing, beautiful garden, but they never water it, so all their plants start withering and dying because they're just failing to take the garden hose and spray it. So if you don't take any action in your business, you're killing it. So you need to use the tool that's already there. So using a garden hose, which is the life force, which is really action, to water your plants is what gives them life. So having success means momentum in your business.
Very well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
and that concludes our interview here. So thank you very much for your time. Everybody else, remember, this is QUEENIE WEI. She says the success is like a garden hose, always take action.
Thank you so much, Fong, for having me. That was a lot of fun.
Awesome. And for everybody else, until next time, my name is Fong, and today is the day to unlock your peak potential. We'll see you.